Hello everyone, welcome back to the True Facts with Zach and Jack podcast. You may notice there's something a little different. Jack Allen is currently on a plane from Zimbabwe to Washington, D.C. It's very complicated. Thanksgiving is a weird holiday. We are joined here today by our special guest, Garen, also known as Frank. How's it going, Garen?
It's pretty good. You know, good to come out of class, talk to the boys about a little history facts to my knowledge.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, he is our World War II expert. Tell us a little bit about World War II, Frank.
Well, everybody makes their jokes about France and how, they surrendered, and all that and gave up pretty much. But actually at the time, since it was after World War I, France has actually had one of the strongest standing armies in the world. And most technologically advanced army at that. Well, they were completely surprised by the Germans by their, I forget the name of it. Blitzkrieg, which was made up by one of the German generals, which uses fast-moving military vehicles and the fast movement of troops, which just took France by surprise.
They weren't expecting that bad boy
at all. They completely dominated them.
How fast were these?
Were these tanks? Well, it took them the time to march from Berlin to the France-German line in about 3 days. France expected them to get there in 2 weeks. So it caught them completely off by surprise.
So what's the horsepowers on them bad boys, them old tanks that they had? Them Panzers?
Any clue?
Well, pretty sure it's more than one.
Yeah.
More than one.
Has to be.
It's more than one, ladies
More
and
than
gentlemen.
one.
That's all he knows.
That's all we know.
That's all we know.
He's not a tank specialist. He's World War II
World War
general
II.
knowledge.
Just facts. Just the facts.
All right, so more about World War II. What happened?
Well, there's another thing. Well, a French reconnaissance plane had taken a picture of the entire German army moving up on them. Well, all your war strategists decided not to believe the picture at all. And they literally could have bombed the entire German army in one road, in one bombing, and would have ended it. But they decided to go against what they saw in the picture. And this completely screwed them over. And eventually they pushed the French troops on up to Dunkirk. And this is where French and British troops were held there on this beach, and they lost a lot of men here, and a bunch of them got sent back home, and everyone thought the war in Europe was over at this point.
So, why didn't they not believe the picture? Photoshop wasn't a thing back then.
Well, they just could not believe the entire German army was in this one spot, and so they decided against any kind of counterattack or nothing against it. Because, like I said, they were expecting them to be there within a week or two, but they got there in 3 days, so they were just like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they lost?
Pretty much, just because
They surrendered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just go back to what everyone says. Yeah, France surrendered, white flag. They suck.
They do suck.
But America, on the other hand, is the reason we won the war in the first place. I mean, come on.
Atomic bombs, ladies and gentlemen. They do a lot of damage.
Oh yes.
Probably too much, but
Burnt up many rice fields, sadly.
that's a discussion for another day. All right, Garen, Frank, thank you.
Yes.
Also have noticed you're wearing a bit of flannel. Are you a lumberjack? Do you cut down trees?
Well, if you couldn't tell from the scruff, I've gotten to the profession lately.
He's trying to look like Wolverine, but he just kind of looks like a dollar store version of him,
It's like a
Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
Wasn't the Wolverine in the military?
He was.
World War II?
Yes, he was. He got burnt up by the atomic bomb, actually.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That one scene that made
With
no
that
sense.
little Japanese dude.
See, we put two and two together.
Yeah.
See, that's what we do here on True Facts with Zach and Jack. Put two and two together. Anyways, next topic. Band. The Center High School Band is having their state military marching contest next week.
Yes.
Namby. At Pine Tree?
Yes, Pine Tree.
Pine Tree. What time do we march? 2?
We're the second band to march in Class 4A.
Class 4A. That's what we are.
I noticed yesterday, the tennis hall band was practicing on our field.
Yeah, we let them.
What is this all about? Why aren't we practicing on
Well,
our field?
they have a grass field.
They have a grass field. They need to practice on turf.
Yeah.
See, at Center, we like to be generous.
Yeah,
we like to give more than we take. So that's what that's all about.
If it were me, I'd just say a tough titty. March on the grass field. Because if y'all have got competition coming up this week, then y'all should be practicing, not them on our field.
Tough titty, says Frank. Also this week, well, that was next week. This week, Saturday, we have the Christmas parade on the historic Center Square that is currently being remodeled for whatever reason. Not on all four sides. We have three sides. We've got a triangle, but it's not a triangle, pretty much.
It's almost a square, just left one side off.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what time we march.
I don't know.
Like 6 something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
We'll be
6.
If you're from Center, you know.
It should be over by like 6:15.
Yeah.
What's
Shouldn't take
the
long.
official title of this parade? The Doodah Parade?
No.
No, the Doodah Parade.
This is just this Christmas parade.
Yeah.
Doodah is a different holiday.
Yeah,
Which holiday is that one?
that's like
I thought that was Christmas.
the Doodah Parade is like poultry.
Is that
festival.
Poultry Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The history of Center runs deep.
Very deep.
So Christmas parade, marching contest.
Yes.
What else were we talking about? Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Hunter, how did your This is Hunter, by the way.
Yes.
Never introduced
I'm
him.
Zach. Yeah.
Yeah. How did your Thanksgiving go?
My Thanksgiving, well, first it was okay. You know, I went to go stay with my family for the week. You know, I mean, we ate food on Thanksgiving like everybody else probably did. You know, I saw my dad. He came in from Dallas.
That's good.
It was pretty nice.
How was yours, Frank?
Well, had pretty much just gotten over COVID, so lost my taste and smell there for a while. But luckily, I got it back the day of Thanksgiving.
That is
So,
lucky.
That's
I was able to enjoy all the many meals we had.
What did y'all have? Let's get a rundown, because I know you're
Let's see.
a Louisiana
Yes.
folk.
We had ham, turkey, chicken and chicken dressing, cranberry sauce, green beans.
Just knows everything.
Wait. There was one more. Oh,
One more.
mac and cheese,
Ooh,
but not
mac
the
and
out of the
cheese.
box kind, the kind that goes in the oven.
Homemade
Oh, yeah.
mac and cheese.
Yes.
Homemade mac and
Homemade
cheese.
mac and cheese. It was quite delicious, let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
The turkey was a little dry though. And,
Turkey was a little dry.
yeah, my cousin don't know what he's doing. He's a little retarded.
My Thanksgiving was pretty good. Went over to my aunt's house. We had most of the same stuff that Garen had. Channing just joined us from the other room. How was your Thanksgiving, Channing?
It was alright.
What'd you have?
We had some dressing,
Yeah,
Just
he-
dressing?
peach cobbler.
Oh, dressing the
Yeah.
peach cobbler for Thanksgiving.
That's one thing I was disappointed in my Thanksgiving. My Nana always makes this thing called carrot souffle. Sadly, she did not join us this year.
Did she
So-
pass away?
No, she just
Oh,
wasn't there.
okay.
Didn't want to come because COVID.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, my grandpa or papa's a little paranoid about it all. So.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But
My
yeah.
sister did not come to Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Oh, Jessica.
dang.
She did not come.
Sad.
Hello, Jessica.
Hi.
Hello.
Anything else you boys would like to talk about?
This new episode of The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
Oh.
Dang.
Great show.
Well, it's actually disappointing.
A little
They
bit.
could have done way better with Ahsoka. She looked god awful.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, did not look normal. At
10
all.
times better animated.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Well, just the Twi'leks.
Twilight. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, however you say it. They're just not a good race in Star Wars for you to have them.
But she's not Twilight. She's a different.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not. That's not a Twilight.
She's not?
Mm-mm.
I thought
The
she
Twi'leks
was.
are the ones with the weird things on their heads.
No, but I know, but she's not Twilight. I forget what she's called.
Well, whatever she is, it don't translate over
Yeah.
to real life.
But like all the other, alien type life forms they have on the show, like the Weequays and stuff, and the little squid looking dudes like they had on that
Mhm.
episode, they all look perfect. They look great. All the dressing up is good, but I don't know what they made her look.
They
too
made her
human.
look weird.
Maybe some characters just aren't built for live action.
Exactly.
Disney.
Speaking of Mandalorian, I forgot I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I think I know what they're trying to do. How they're going to tie in the Mandalorian.
What are they going to do there?
You saw the cloning facility in the
Yeah.
Imperial base.
Yeah.
Bet you that's how they made Snoke.
Yeah.
That's how they-
Oh, that's how they're
Or
trying to
the
make
Emperor from Grogu.
Yeah.
It's Baby
Well,
Yoda's name.
You know,
Yeah.
we can throw in a little bit of Legends into the mix. You know, that old game, Star Wars The Force Awakens?
I
The
do know
second
that.
one. You remember on the Camino, Darth Vader was trying to clone Starkiller,
He did
and he was successful.
Well, yeah.
So they've already got the technology, so what's
They're just
happening?
working on it.
Yeah.
That would shorten down Snoke being cloned because the original clone wasn't force sensitive,
Yes, it was.
was he?
Yeah,
I mean,
the
but he
original
didn't
clone
use the
was.
force.
Snoke.
Snoke's original self?
I mean, no, just the original clone that they, cloned. What was his name?
Jango Fett.
Yeah, Django.
Oh.
Oh yeah, what they didn't
But they're not-
use.
they're not
they didn't
using
use
him.
Django.
But Snoke, he was so, just falling apart,
Yeah, because he was like.
Django's,
I don't know.
DNA could, deteriorated that much.
I don't
over
think they were
time.
using Django.
No.
Probably not.
No.
But
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I was just, sticking that out there. They just said the cloning facility. They didn't
But-
say anybody.
They did continue to use clones after the Clone Wars.
They
It
did, yeah.
wasn't Jango Fett's no more because at that time the genetic coding was starting to go down on the decline. But they did still use clones within the Imperial Army, but it was just a different
Yeah.
genetic coding.
We kind of went off of Mandalorian and went to Star Wars.
It's just,
Yeah,
Star
it's
Wars,
just-
it's just
it's
such
just-
an
you can-
expansive
yeah,
universe.
It's great. Like, did you know all the new TV shows are coming out next year? They got,
Tell us about those, Frank.
They're coming out with. They've announced these for sure. Lando Calrissian's on a TV series.
Ooh.
Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
But this is his time on Tatooine, I believe, after the Clone Wars, is what it looks like.
After Order 66, and
Yeah.
he just kind of
And
left.
how his
yeah.
life is.
Yeah.
And then they're going to make one more, the Bad Batch clones, which you see in the final season of the Clone Wars.
Yes.
They're getting their own
They're
TV show.
pretty nice.
I have not watched the Clone Wars,
You
I
have
must
not
admit.
watched the Clone
That's,
Wars?
that's
Any of them?
Well,
Or just the new season?
I've started trying to watch it, but the earlier seasons aren't that great.
It gets better.
There are-
I
it gets
know,
better.
but it's just hard to get
The
into.
first one,
The
seasons
first
1 and 2
two,
are
they're-
pretty.
their seasons-
they're-
Like they talk like this.
Yeah, but once you get into like season 3 and later, it gets better.
It's
Yeah,
like-
I know it gets
And
better.
the final
it's just-
seasons for sure, like top notch.
Oh yeah, they were paying some big
Yeah,
bucks.
It was
Yeah.
nice. It was nice.
Yeah. Star Wars. Frank is just he knows everything.
He's a renowned character.
All around good man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just great having you here, Garen.
You know,
Frank.
today in class it was great. Mr. Watlington was up there asking questions about Anglo-Saxon history and everything. You know, you look around and everyone's drawing blanks. I'm just sitting there like,
I know this yet.
Tell us
Yes.
about the Anglo-Saxon War, Garen. Frank?
which one?
Either one.
Any of them.
Well, the Anglo-Saxons weren't always the dominant culture in England. There's this wall called the Gregorian Wall, which was built by the Romans to separate the Celts from them and protect them. Well, after the fall of the Roman Empire in 400 AD, well, the Romans weren't there to protect the Celts anymore, and as Mr. Watlington explains, and the very bad things, the Anglo-Saxons, they come across this wall and pretty much kill the Celtic people. And then they become the dominant. And at first, they're a barbaric culture, pretty much just going to kill anything and everything. Well, eventually, they kind of civilize more and more, and they start making coin systems, courts and judges, kings, and one of the most well-known Anglo-Saxon kings would be King Alfred the Great,
Oh, yes.
which he embarks the idea of one big great England, bring all the lands of England together.
Yes.
He
Which-
was a great king.
Yes,
He was pretty
but
hard.
he had a problem because the Danes, which was
Dang
a
Danes.
Viking culture, they were also there occupying the land, so it was hard to bring Christians and non-Christians together because they didn't believe the same things.
Yeah. Just had to get them out of there.
Yeah.
Religion.
It's a deep subject.
Indeed.
Maybe we'll have Frank on again another time, if anybody cares. I don't know if anybody wants to learn about the Anglo-Saxon War,
Or World War II.
Yeah.
or just anything else really he probably knows about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a random subject?
Random subject. Like a school subject.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Just anything we could quiz him on.
Let me think here.
I like those cargo boxes there.
Yeah, they're nice. They're a nice decoration.
Yeah.
Let's think. The drug war, the war on drugs.
War on drugs.
Oh. Mm.
Okay, war on drugs. Many people have different opinions on the war on drugs. Many say it's all a fake thing and it's just the government trying to take more control of minorities and whatnot. But there is many missions and stuff committed by the CIA trying to get into drug cartels within, Mexico and South America, trying to stop the importation of it into America. But then there's police raids and stuff that go on, which go along with the war on drugs on the American people. And some people find that to be violation of rights and stuff in some points because, racial profiling and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the main topic is asserting themselves and trying to stop the importation of drugs from, Central America and South America into United States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just knows everything.
Yes.
Have we talked about our sponsor this week?
Oh, our sponsor? No, we have not. Today we are sponsored by Goldfish.
The snack that smiles back.
Yes.
Goldfish.
Hey, do you know what the original slogan for Goldfish was?
What was it, Frank?
The snack that smiles back, goldfish until you bite their head off. That was the original slogan back in the 90s.
Was it really?
Yeah. And then a kid would bite the fish's head off on the TV.
A goldfish only has a tail.
Yeah, it doesn't smile no more.
No more smiles.
Maybe a little lag.
Do fish even have tails? What would you call that?
I mean, they got dorsal
Fins?
Fins?
You got the dorsal fin.
Tails, fins.
Yeah. Tail fins.
Yeah. Okay.
Tail fin. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Fish are weird.
Yeah, did you know sharks are definitely afraid of dolphins?
Yeah, because dolphins will dart up from
Yeah.
under the water
And just punch them in their stomach practically.
and kill them.
Yeah.
My dad will not eat fish
He won't eat wine.
What?
because he swears that he will not anything that eats where it poops.
Hmm. Then how does he drink water? At one point, that water had fish trapped in it.
And my argument was, you cannot tell me you've never had a snack on the toilet.
That's a pretty good argument. I've got to say, I've eaten on the toilet before.
Garen is a food connoisseur.
I don't think I've ate on the toilet.
Well, you're lying.
Well, maybe not eat. I've definitely drank something on the toilet.
Well, just
I've
if you're in a
definitely drank
hurry
something.
Yeah.
and you've got to be somewhere and you've got to eat. Like if you woke up late and you didn't get breakfast.
Sometimes though, instead of standing to pee, do you ever just sit down instead?
No.
I do that sometimes, but not for the fact that I want to be womanly or something. That I want to get on my phone and just sit in the bathroom in peace.
The bathroom is a man's kingdom.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I've always thought, when I get my first house, that
Bath,
toilet,
you've got to have your own toilet.
it's gonna it'll be my throne.
Me, I'm going to have a urinal in my bathroom.
Sounds like a good idea.
It's going to be
Yeah.
gold.
Like plated or solid?
I don't know yet. It might just be painted
I
gold.
think if it was solid, I think it might be too heavy.
It might be a little too heavy.
We could just layer it in gold foil.
Or just spray paint it.
We could spray painted gold.
It wouldn't look too bad.
I don't think it would look too bad.
You know what I've learned? You know how they have the all black toilets? Well, you've never seen an all black toilet. It's painted black. Okay. It's weird. I don't like it. I like to be able to see what is coming out of my body into the toilet with
I don't know
that.
about all that.
But the black toilet, you can't see it.
I mean,
see
you
it.
can't really see what's going into the toilet.
Unless you stand up and look at it.
Yeah.
Like you have to want to.
Or, just...
Like what's your
Just spread the legs.
what's your reason for wanting to look at your excrement?
health concerns?
Like
health
a
concerns,
clear
yeah.
toilet would be ideal.
Yeah.
A clear toilet. What
That-
about those Japanese toilets?
A bidet.
Oh, a bidet.
No.
No.
What?
Oh,
The-
just a hole? in
it's
the
just a
ground?
hole
That's
in the
China.
ground.
Yeah.
China. Oh, it's China?
Yeah, Japan uses the bidet where it sprays your butt.
Yeah.
It's kind of
And
weird.
it cleans it, so you don't have to wipe. I mean, that's efficient,
Yeah.
but it's weird.
It's weird.
I saw something on the internet earlier, and it turns out during Mr. Wheeler's reading time, because we do that every 9 weeks, but It's this thing that was invented by the one and only Nikola Tesla.
Oh,
And it's
Nicola?
Nikolai.
Nikola,
Whatever.
You know, the electricity guy that everybody talks about. So it's this thing, you plug it into the plug closest to your breaker box in your home. And it's supposed to cut down on hundreds to thousands of dollars in electrical bills because electric companies screw you by sending bad currents through your wires. And this thing like evens them out to where there's not just like constant electricity usage going through all your plugs in your house. Yeah, I looked into it. I mean, it seems like it could be pretty good. It says you use one for every 1,500 square feet footage.
Feetage.
Speaking of electricity, you know, if you have something plugged in, you know, you might as well just unplug that. If it's not doing anything, you're just
Yeah.
wasting electricity.
But see, that's the thing. This thing pretty much helps that out. It stops that from happening, so you don't have to worry about doing all these extra things in your house. I didn't get to read on it too long. We didn't have too long in class, but it seemed pretty interesting. Might have to look into it.
Might have to look into that one. Speaking of electricity still, Christmas lights.
Oh,
That's not good for your money.
No,
not at all.
Like,
I don't think we put up Christmas lights in like 5
Oh, yeah,
6
we
No,
don't.
I haven't put up Christmas lights in forever.
And it's
That's
just
the
a
size
hassle.
of the tree.
Yeah, Christmas tree, that's about it.
Christmas tree and maybe some little decorations. That's really all Christmas needs.
Continuing with lights, what about every teenage girl that has TikTok's room? LED.
LED lights around.
Okay,
I can't even cap. I have them
I
though.
want LED.
I do want some.
Yeah, I mean,
They're just good mood setters.
Yeah.
yeah, like you
Like,
know,
You can just turn them on like at night. You
You
don't
can-
want the light on. It's
you
too
can
bright.
you can dim them.
Yeah.
You know, it's better on the eyes, dude. I don't like my
You can
light.
set the mood.
Yeah.
You know, you can turn on red, be a little dangerous, mysterious.
Maybe blue if you're feeling a little down.
Maybe
You know what the blue color would be good for?
Jamarcus.
Our friend Kale.
Oh,
Kale does get a little sad sometimes.
he does get a little sad.
Love you, Kale. Even though you're mad at me right now.
You know, I've always heard, oddly, a lime green color is like really good on your eyes. It's like
Lime
it's calming, supposedly.
Like looking at it.
Yeah, just like
Or
say-
just being in it.
In it. Yeah.
like. Okay,
Like-
so you know how you perceive color, light bounces off of it, sends it to your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that process of it going into your eyes, you know, it's better on it. Like, say you're walking on a white pavement and it's really sunny outside, you
Yeah.
know how it hurts?
Yeah.
Well, same thing. It's just like calming. It's easy on the
I
eyes.
guess it would be
makes sense.
easy for the eyes
Right.
because there's so much green around us.
Yeah.
But I wonder if somebody in the city would it have the same effect.
That is true.
What if gray calms them down? Like a harsh concrete gray.
A harsh
Probably,
Charcoal gray.
yeah. Or just like the smell of smog.
Oh.
Oh,
Just
goodness.
pollution.
Yeah,
Pollution.
they
Pollution.
live for that crap. And then you can walk outside and let me just
Pollution.
pollution.
Polluted air.
Feels great on my lungs.
But yeah.
You know what's also odd?
What's also odd?
About the perceiving of color, your eye can only see blue, green, and red.
Well, aren't you
RGB.
col-
Yeah.
Aren't you colorblind, Gary?
Yeah, I am slightly colorblind.
What colors?
Blue and purple can look the same. Red and brown on occasion. Red and what was the other one? Green sometimes. Oh yeah, one time I got it confused with the gray polo shirt at a store, or no, it was green, and I thought it was gray.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you buy it?
No.
Oh.
And then once I found out the true color of it, I was like, oh no.
That sucks.
No.
I would have liked to seen you in that. I had something on my mind that I was about to talk about. Completely forgot. Oh yeah, Garen. I know you're a connoisseur of video games upon occasion.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about the new Call of Duty Cold War? Very controversial.
Well, at first I had my thoughts and opinions on it. I didn't like the aiming and shooting. It wasn't as
Yeah.
smooth as Modern Warfare. But after a few days of playing, I kind of got used to it, and it's pretty fun right now. I'm enjoying the game. Zombies is pretty fun.
Very fun.
You can get, because the best part about this Zombies, everything you XP wise get from Zombies translates over to
And
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
It's all the same rank and account.
So it's a good, incentive to play zombies.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And
It does.
it's a pretty fun time for the boys, You sit there for probably about an hour or two playing zombies for one game of it. So
I have yet to play Cold War.
We need to.
Yes.
there's a lot of great games coming out,
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk 2077, if it ever comes out.
If it does ever come back. Isn't it scheduled for like the 9th?
Something like that. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It looks pretty fun just because of that time period.
I don't know. It looked weird.
I feel like if you're on a next gen console though, I think it'll be a good aesthetic game. The graphics will look pretty.
Yeah.
Just the movement looked a little bit weird on that character.
Yeah, I haven't been a real big fan of the newer Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
No,
They're just completely different.
I like the older ones.
Yeah.
I do prefer the older ones. Black Flag was a really good
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Number,
Black Flag?
number 3, that was a good.
3 was good too.
Rogue was pretty fun. Oh, did y'all ever play Syndicate?
I didn't like Syndicate.
See, that's when they started to change a little
Yeah,
bit.
I didn't like them at all.
It was, no, once you started figuring out how to make money, it got kind of fun. But that's when they started to change
I
movements.
think I played it for 20 minutes and never played it again.
I never played it.
It had an interesting story.
To say the least.
Yeah.
I never finished it.
Mm.
Black Flag, on the other hand.
That was a great
That was
game.
great.
It was fun to customize your ship. You just get in
Yes.
battles.
I loved
The
upgrading
dang,
Jackdaw.
Oh,
the Jackdaw. I
Yeah.
forgot the
Jackdaw.
name.
Jackdaw.
I liked when you could do those historic fleet battles, and you just go against like this big old fleet with your one ship.
Yeah.
And you just somehow kill them all?
Some of them were very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go against those man of wars with like 40 cannons, and
Yeah.
just
They would mess some stuff up.
I like going whaling, hunting sharks or something.
yeah. I always wish though on those games where you got to have a ship, you could buy a bigger ship,
But, yeah.
not just keep the same
ship.
one.
And don't you upgrade it though? Make it
You
bigger?
can upgrade, but it doesn't really make it bigger though.
Oh.
It stays the same size, but it just makes damage and health.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one where you get to really drive a boat,
Mm.
Yeah, Black Flag was the first one, and then Rogue. No,
Because in
it was
3,
Rogue. No, Black Flag, Rogue, and then what was the one during Sparta?
Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey.
and
They did do that in Odyssey, but you were like throwing spears.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it didn't really make
yeah,
sense
you're
how a
throwing
spear
spears
would.
and flaming arrows.
It was just kind of different. It was pretty fun though. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
And it wasn't really like a big boat.
Yeah, it was just like those little Greek boats that you see with the like little
Wave
heads
Horse on the front or whatever.
and the little shields. I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing. It looks cool, but
But in Assassin's Creed 3, you did have a ship, but you didn't get to drive it.
Yeah, it just stayed in port pretty much.
Yeah. You could use it, to fast travel. But that was about
yeah,
it.
that was about it you could do with it.
Oh, nothing was scarier on Black Flag when you're out in this dang sea storm and a dang cyclone just kind of
Yes.
comes down.
Oh, yeah.
I hated the side.
And the big old wave, a rogue wave.
Yeah.
And you'd have to like adjust what you're doing.
Especially if you're doing one of those missions with the great big old man of wars and you have to deal with both of them.
Yeah.
It was a really fun game. There was a lot to do.
Oh yeah. And so much like customization and crafting you can do. It's
Oh
great.
yes, I fully upgraded everything.
Takes a lot of time.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a great game.
Well, I guess that'll be it for our 4th episode of True Facts with Jack and Zach.
Yes.
Zach and Jack. I don't know. It's one of the ways.
Which
Thank
one?
you, Garen, for coming on.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
thank
It
you,
was a
Gary.
great time.
Got to steal him out of class.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hunter, thank you for filling in.
It was
for
nice
Jack
to
Allen.
be here.
Hopefully, he'll be back from Zimbabwe
No telling.
next week. No telling.
But if you'd like for me to stay here, please tell us.
Yeah, just leave it down in the comments. Just share this video around. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that basic stuff that people do. All right. See you next week.
Frank out.